Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory be to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah Kodash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone that rule well, and blessings to the hopeful elect out there listening and learning, and also teaching this word in sincerity and truth, in the hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. And yeah, so I got a little story today. You know, something that I've been going through at work, and I ain't gonna make it too long. I just wanted to, you know, pretty much put this on, you know, like Jake said, put it on wax. You know, where basically I've been dealing with this job that I'm working at the moment. You know, had it to where, and I ain't been in this particular role that I'm working in. I haven't really been doing it for long. I'm saying about what, maybe 4 or 5 months, coming up to 5 months now. And as I started working here, you know, the Spirit of the Lord's kind of been working, you know, finding favorable lanes for me to travel down within the job. Let me just put it like that, for lack of better terms. And I started realizing that as I started progressing on the job and doing really well, because you know the Lord always, you know, pretty much he guides us, man. The scripture says man's goings are of the Lord. How then shall a man understand his own way, right? So the Lord is always looking out for his elect, man. And Lord willing, I'm of the elect. Lord willing, all you sincere believers out there, you're of the elect. You know, and you have to believe that the Lord is like, you know, he's dealing with you, man. You have to believe that, you know, moving with faith. You know, scripture speak about faith being mixed with the word, man, and how it's going to profit you. You know, if faith is mixed with the word. Scriptures tell you in Hebrews 4:2, for unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. So this word actually has to be coupled with faith in order for it to profit. Hey, through this word, man, you know how to move wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Through this word, you know how to agree with your adversary quickly. Let's say a cop pulls you over. Are you gonna start throwing hands with the cop? Are you gonna start, you know, antagonizing the cop? The scripture says a soft answer turneth away wrath. So through this wisdom, man, the Lord is putting us on a level to be able to navigate, right, and make the right choices and the right decisions, right, in this wicked ass system. All right, now does that mean that you're gonna make the right decisions all the time? No. All right, because guess what, man? Sometimes you have to slip up, and sometimes you have to make mistakes in order to learn for the next time. You know, we're actually striving for perfection. That means that we ain't perfect. That means that we're striving for it. All right, and not to mention, like, we're in this fucking warped ass system where everything's geared to seeing Jake fall anyway. So we're ready, you know, pretty much, you know, we're in a handicap fight. Like, here it is, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, Job 9:24, right? So if the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, do you think that's going to be favorable for conditions for the righteous? No, it's going to be unfavorable, because guess what? Everything that we stand for, right, pretty much in this environment that we're in, that we're marinating in, as we're being worn out, like the scripture says they shall wear out the saints to the Most High, these situations that present themselves to us are constantly going to rub us up the wrong way. All right, we're going to find friction, because we're under them curses too. Right? So anyway, check this out, right? This is the story. Now, I'll tell you, let me just put it this way. Me and a certain person, right, we're on a similar level in terms of, you know, the authority that we have in the job. All right? Now, I do a particular trade, and I've been doing it for some years. And the Lord, you know, through the Spirit has blessed me to you know, move into a better position. All right? Now, there's another guy that's in a similar position. But the thing is, they brought me on in this position because he couldn't manage the position. Basically, he wasn't getting on with the client. So they brought me on to get on well with the client, and they moved this guy on to another area to manage a different client. Now, I came on, and as soon as I came on, the Spirit has had it where I've been getting a string of compliments, emails, positive emails being sent back and forth, right? Now, what you got to understand is, in the midst of all of that happening, you're seeing that this guy that got moved on to work with another client, he's obviously seeing this, you know? So he's getting a little bit envious and stuff and whatever. Come to find out now, I heard through the grapevine that because I got brought on, I see this, and this happens. Like, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, the story in the Old Testament with Jacob and Laban. And you know when Jacob came around, Laban, he was living fat because he was getting blessed, but through our forefather Jacob, you know? And sometimes that be happening, you know, sometimes, you know, Jake, you know, you be doing things, you be going to a certain job and that job will flourish and people will be loving you at the job because guess what? When you're on a job, because the Spirit of the Lord might be dealing with you in a certain particular way, you know, the job will flourish even better just because you're there, right? And I'm not saying that to be proud. I'm like, Lord willing, like, hey, through humility, hey, we understand that the Lord, you know, everything comes from the Lord. The scripture says a man can receive nothing except to be given it from heaven, right? So whatever you get is a blessing from the Lord. Whatever you don't get, and that's because the Lord didn't want to give it to you. So we have to take it, you know, you got to take it like that at the same time. But come to find out, this guy he doesn't like the fact that, you know, the Lord dealing with me in a certain way, especially since he got moved on somewhere else and I got brought on to do what he couldn't do. And now that I'm doing what he couldn't do, he's starting to hate that. Now, the Spirit of the Lord pretty much got on the bosses of the company to employ this individual. And this is a white Jake, right? And I work in a particular industry where there ain't really much, you know, so-called black men doing what I do. Let me just put it that way, right? Now, that causes friction with the fact that, the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of so-called, you know, you see a lot of so-called white, you know, even so-called white Jakes doing what I do. That alone, right, causes friction, that causes envy, especially if they see a Jake doing better than they can do. You know, because remember, you got Jakes all fucked up, man. You got, you know, Irish, Scottish, white Jakes, right? So-called white-looking Jakes, right? That don't even know that they're Israelites, all right? But because they got that particular skin, they might go on like, you know, try and go on like they you know, like they can move like Esau does. And that be happening a lot, especially over here in the UK, all right? So going back to the story now, this geezer, he ended up getting a promotion, okay? He got a promotion. And it got announced in certain meetings and stuff and that and whatever. And the first thing he did when he got the promotion, because he got promoted over me, the first thing he decided to do was start to smite me, right? To start to say, yeah, I'm now over you, I'm your manager now. And he, you know, then he started, you know, he's making stupid jokes like pointing at his watch. Yeah, I'm watching. I saw what time you finished this day and what time you finished that day, and so on and so forth. So I said, this geezer's tripping, because all I wanted to do was help this guy when we was on the same level. All I did was help him. All I actually did was help this cat, right? And this is how you repay me. And this is why you can't trust these niggas, man. Like, man, the scripture says, when thou doest good, know to whom thou doest, because you got a lot of green-eyed, like, envious individuals, demons that they got that break a leg spirit, you know, where people, they don't want to see you do a certain, you know, and even in the truth you get that, you know, even in the truth you get that, man. And we can't have that spirit where you don't want to see the next man, you know, hey, because whatever's given to one man one day, hey, it might be given to you another day, you know. And I can't remember, one of the brothers even said that. I don't believe it's the brother that made the testimony. It could have been him, or it could have been another brother. The testimony about some brothers just didn't make it. It might have been that brother. So like, if I'm mistaken on that, because we be watching a lot of videos, so it's hard to keep up. But anyways, like, you got a lot of envious Jake out here, man, and white Jake at that, especially in an industry which is predominantly full of white, so-called white Jake. All right, but at the end of the day, he started to smite me, right? Even though I was still getting a string of good compliments, being good with the client, and, you know, pretty much the Lord pretty much dealing with me in the job, right? Come to find out today, we had a meeting. Come to find out that word of his promotion went up the chain to like the CEOs of the company. Come to find out where the boss of the company, he pretty much said, nah, you know, leave it the way it is. Let them stay on the same level, just give them more responsibility. So now I've been given more responsibility, you know, and he's been put on the same level that I am, right? But guess what? The Lord tested him, because he started to smite me just when he thought that his promotion was solidified. And that kind of reminds me of King David, you know, and King Saul and David at the time, right? Because the Lord was dealing with King David, and because the Lord was dealing with King David, what was happening with Saul? He was getting envious, right? Because, hey, every time King David was around and he would play the harp, the evil spirits that hopped on Saul would jump off because King David was around playing that harp, you know? And this is what I'm saying, like, when you read these scriptures and you really apply it into your life, you're like, damn, like, or you, Jacob and Laban, like, you start to realize, hold on a minute, man, when the Lord is dealing with you, right? Hey, the Lord, the scripture says, the angels of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Now this guy's gonna stuck his neck out, right? He's done all right, he failed the test. As soon as he got a little bit of power, right? And that's what this society pushes, by the way, right? The only way to get up in this man's system is for you to be dirtier than the next man, or to step on other people to get above. And that's exactly what Esau pushes. That dog eat dog, that cutthroat, that reservoir dog mentality. And it's fucking pathetic, man. Alright, but now this guy that thought that he got promoted over me, now he felt that, because as soon as he thought that he had a little bit of power, he started to whip the shit out of me, man. Right? To the point where the other colleagues, the other workers was like, why is he doing this to you? Why is he doing it? And it was like, I knew it was Satan, but sometimes, hey, you just got to suffer these things. Remember, we're involved in a spiritual war, man. You know? We're involved in a spiritual war. The scripture says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So sometimes the Lord will have you get in a fucked up situation, in a spiritual jam, so to speak, right? In order to test your resolve, to see what you're going to do under that pressure. Are you going to still serve the Lord? Is it becoming too much for you? Are you going to get offended? Right? Hey, the scripture says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. You know? So that's what this is about, man. It's a test. And we're going to be constantly tested till the chariots come. Now, I said all of that to say this, right? So going back to my story, right? Now, all the colleagues was like, they started to see that this guy started to whip me more and more. Right? Only to find out today in a meeting that actually it was an unofficial promotion. We're actually going back to the way things were. It's just we're going to half the responsibilities between this guy, meaning me, and the other guy that was whipping me. Right? Who thought he got promoted above me. You see how the Spirit of the Lord works? But the moment he thought he got a little bit of power, that was it. He took the opportunity to fuck me over, man. You know, started clock watching me, started, you know, monitoring me, started saying things like, I'll see what time you leave and, you know, from your job. And, hey, if the job's done, I'm out of there. I don't need to be staying around these demons, man. Hey, I'm fortunate enough, Lord willing, right, to be in the job where if the job is done, I can leave at whatever time I want. If the job gets done. You know what I'm saying? But then this guy, you know, he's like a tyrant. As soon as he thought he had a little bit of power, he became tyrannical quick. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he failed the fucking test, man. And now, hey, but it's really a blessing because now the Lord revealed to me what kind of person he is and how low he's really willing to go, right? In order to make sure to solidify or drum in to you know, in his head, drum into my head that you're just nothing to me. So I said, you know what? Let people do what they're gonna do, man. Right? The scripture says all things work to the good of them that are in Yahushua, man. The true believers, man. Because you got a lot of people that want to see you harmed out here. You got a lot of people around you, man, that are really bad-minded individuals. And that's why we stay away from you niggas. This is why we don't want to be around you people, man. Right? The scripture says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you, and when they shall separate you from their company, right? And cast out your name as evil. You know? So that's just like a little quick testimony, if you will, you know? Just going into a few things, you know, that I wanted to speak on. All right, 1 second. Yeah, hello? Could you just leave it in the recycling, please? Yeah, leave it in the recycling. Outside? Yep. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, excuse me, man. I know that I just had a delivery, and you know, cause you know I pretty much live in a where me and my other, you know, my demon, she works as well, you know. we're both working, so we can't be there to pick up packages and stuff. So we got like this, you know, you could tell the delivery guys on the camera on your front door to just leave a package, you know, in a safe place, you know, when you're not there. But anyway, because I'm waiting for something to come, and it's, you know, I'm waiting for something to come. You know, I ain't gonna be over righteous and not, you know. But anyway, I said all that to say this, so I had to take that. That was one of those things I had to do, right? And I'm actually waiting for something to come for the work's sake as well. All right, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So check this out, right? The Lord actually revealed this demon, right? But you got a lot of people that want to see you harmed, man. That's the point. Oh, what was I going into? The scripture says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you, right? When they shall separate you from their company, speak evil against you. That's really a blessing. You know, when people, you know, because guess what? Yahweh Shai wasn't much liked, you know? The majority of the majority of Israel, they didn't like Yahweh Shai, right? The wicked scribes and Pharisees and that and whatever. You had people coming around Yahweh Shai to try and, you know, catch him out in his words. You know, you're gonna have real grimy ass, right, slugs slithering around you, man, that want to see you break a leg, and they be smiling in your face. That's why you gotta watch. That's why the scripture says, be circumspect. Scripture says, watch ye therefore, as well as pray. You know, stay prayed up, man, because these demons are out here. These demons are on these people, and they got that break a leg energy. So you got to be careful, man. Brothers got to be careful. And you got spies among us too. Hey, maybe even at your job, right? You damn sure got spies at certain brothers' jobs, right? Might be, you know, you might see them on your job every single day and that and whatever. We have to be very, very careful. We have to be very, you know, the scripture says the adversary, the devil, walketh around like a roaring lion, seeking those that he may devour, man. So there's constant, look, man, we're being preyed upon all the time. So we definitely have to keep our guard up. And a part of that is to pray, right? And to be circumspect. And the scripture says, pray without ceasing. You know? So that's just a little quick testimony that I wanted to go into, man. You know, because it kind of reminded me of the story of King David, man, and how he was getting treated, right, when Saul was king. Hey, King Saul was so jealous, he was throwing javelins after King David and that, you know? He wanted to kill King David, man. Hey, some of these people, man, they're so jealous, right, of the light that's around you, of how the Lord's dealing with you. And I'm speaking to you sincere believers, man. You argue that you believe that the Lord is dealing with you and you're moving a certain way and that and whatever. Hey, as we plug in and we plug out of the matrix, we use the word and not abusing it. Guess what? These demons are like agents in the matrix. They'll transform and they'll come for you, man. And you be thinking, damn, what the fuck got into this person? Out of nowhere. You know? So people can switch up. That's why it's imperative that we understand that the only real ones that we can really confide in when it comes to this truth is the brotherhood. You know? Because, you know, the brotherhood, they don't come with you with that break a leg energy, right? Or less than we're not supposed to. Hey, Satan can jump on any man, you know, but at the same time, we're supposed to be pushing, you know, what would Yahweh Shai do? That's how we're supposed to be out here. You know, selfless, giving, you know. The scripture says, you know, if any man asks you for your coat, give him your cloak also. You know, go in twain with a man. You know, treating your neighbor as you would like to be treated. These things are important. They're basic, but they're very important. And sometimes, you know, hey, sometimes with certain people, the basics just fly out of the window, man. You know, and it can happen. And that's why we got to stay sharp. I ain't going to go on like I'm perfect. Hey, sometimes the basics are flown out the window with me. And I've had to, you know, I mean, the Lord does that to keep you humble, right? Because guess what? Hey, the scripture says, he that exalteth himself shall be abased. And this demon that thought he got the promotion, he thought he got exalted. Guess what? He got abased quickly. You see that? Right? Because he wanted to exalt himself. You know? And people that want to exalt themselves, man, okay, hey, they find out quickly. You know? And it's funny because I remember that scene in Gladiator when Marcus Aurelius asked Maximus to become the new, with all my powers will pass to you, Maximus. You know? And then Maximus was like, no, he didn't want it. And he said, see, that's why it must be you. That is why it must be you. You know? But you got these power-hungry individuals, man. They come around, they want power, right? And then when they get that power, they can't deal with it. Or they lose their mind, they lose their head. All kind of judgment goes out the window. right? Because the power, they become tyrants, you know? And it's not good to be like that, even in the truth. That's why I'm bringing this story out. Because in the truth, hey, we got to stay, like, hey, stay level-headed, man. Scriptures speak about a false balance being an abomination to the Lord. All of a sudden, you get a bit of power, and all of a sudden, you become a super tyrant, man, right? And you got 2 whips, fuck the 1 whip. You got 2 whips, and you just whipping the shit out of everyone around you. You know? And we don't want to be like that, man. We don't want to be like that, right? Now, sometimes, hey, shit, man. I remember the apostle saying years ago, sometimes you gotta be an asshole. But that's not, you know, not to be malicious or not to be wicked with it. It's just to put the fire. You know, sometimes you gotta put the fire up under. If a man's taking a piss, then he's gotta be told, bro, you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? And that's what counsel's for. That's what reasoning's for, man. You know, because hey, the scripture says open rebuke is better than secret love. You got these guys with a secret love. Then, you know, they act like everything's cool, but then really they like break a leg behind the scenes. They don't get on you because they really want to see you fall flat in your face. You know? But that's why open rebuke is better than secret love. Because if someone really cares about you, they're going to tell you the truth. And the scripture says, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Same thing that we're doing to Israel. We're telling you the truth. You know? We're telling you the truth. That you're fucking up, that you're going off. Right? And you hate us for it. But guess what, man? Hey, we did our duty. By us doing what we're doing, man, we're showing, hey, we're getting on you. We're saying, look, get right. Otherwise, the Lord's going to destroy you. And only the elect's going to get right anyway. Now, you can't tell us that that's hate. Hey, no, man, we're showing love by doing that. All right? So, yeah, that's it, man. That's what I'm gonna leave it there anyway. I hope this was an edifying lesson. You know, just something that was on my mind, you know. Hey, sometimes I like to do these, you know, speak on certain things. It might be considered quite personal, but sometimes I don't mind going into personal things, especially if it means that it's gonna edify the body, man. Because it's all about edification at the end of the day. You know? Hey, if the Lord is dealing with you, man, you know, that's a beautiful thing. And you pray that the Lord, you know, keeps that spirit upon you, and you pray for more protection, you know, and you pray for the Lord to continuously guide you, man, because we're going to need the Lord to deal with us in these last days. We're going to need to navigate a certain type of way in these last days, because things are definitely going to start turning up, and these demons are going to start getting, you know, starting foaming at the mouth, starting make people foaming at the mouth in these last days. You're going to see people are going to get more desperate, more angry, more frustrated, more short-tempered, you know. Because guess what? I don't know, things are not working out for them. You know, because everything's going down. This man's kingdom's going down. So, you know, people are going to be looking for people to blame, you know, pointing fingers. They're going to look to take out their frustrations on one another, you know. Oh, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor because of, you know, because of the lack of bread. And for great tribulation, all of that's coming. 2 Corinthians 15, 2 Corinthians 16, the time of Jacob's trouble. So how dark do you think things are going to get if things are already dark now? To the point where people are ready to fuck people over behind the scenes. But it's going to go from behind the scenes to live and direct. These people are going to get real fucking violent and physical with each other, man. Hey, like the Joker said in the Dark Knight, what did he say? These civilized people, when the chips are down, they'll eat each other. And that's exactly what you're going to start seeing, that dog-eat-dog mentality. Alright? So just stay prayed up, man, you know. Hey, pray to the Lord, pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know? Pray even more, man. Pray even more so than you've been praying before. And I say that for myself too. You know? Hey, King David, he said what? Evening, morning, and noon. You know, do I pray before the Lord? Loosely paraphrasing. So we got to be in that spirit, man. Praying without ceasing. It's a part of the armor, you know? So with that, man, I pray you were edified, sincerely edified with this video, man. Lord willing, it weren't too long-winded and stuff. Lord willing, I didn't go off, like, in terms of, like, the topic or certain, you know, Lord willing, I quoted enough scriptures. And if any scriptures that, you know, that come into your mind as you're hearing this in transit, hey, just put them on the comment board, you know? So that we may, hey, the scripture says iron sharpeneth iron, right? So if it's about edification, then we're supposed to be posting scriptures on the comment boards, man. You know, and edifying one another with the scriptures that we post. Because it's about building at the end of the day, right? So that we can get into the kingdom. Hey, and the Lord sees, man. The Lord sees when you posting this and you posting that and you posting scriptures. The Lord sees. You know what I mean? And that's a form of charity in itself. And the scripture says a charity covereth a multitude of sins. Because what you're doing by the act of doing that is you're feeding the flock of the Lord, man. Because the flock's going to be looking on them comment boards, watching, hold on a minute, maybe there was one of Yahushai's flock that had to see that scripture that you posted. Have you ever thought about it like that? You know? And maybe that's a scripture that will stick with that particular brother, all right, or a sister that's in the truth, or whatever, that, you know, they'll be able to apply, and it will stick with them till the chariots come. And they really needed that scripture. And there's certain scriptures that really stick in my mind. And they have done since I came into the truth. One of them is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength for salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. That's a scripture that's always stuck with me. Now, I don't know where I first heard it, but when I heard it, it stuck with me. But the point is, I heard it and it stuck with me. So there's scriptures out there that's going to stick with you, man. And ultimately, man, the scripture says eat the whole roll. This word's supposed to be in us. So the more scriptures we post, the more we into the scriptures. Scripture says, blessed is he that readeth. And that can't be a curse. It's going to be a blessing unto you. Because it's going to help you. It's going to keep you stable, right? Anyway, man. Hey, I pray this is edifying. I'm going to close out this lesson. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.